narrative around a football club, especially one draped in recent success, is a pendulum that swings violently between chaos and coronation. This is the modern reality that managers like Pep Guardiola navigate daily. When you examine the current position of Manchester City, nestled in the upper echelons of the Premier League, comfortably progressing in cup competitions and ranking among the division's most potent attacks, the logical conclusion is one of strength. If offered this precise scenario at the season's dawn, most would have accepted it eagerly. Yet, the relentless pursuit of improvement, the innate desire to see a team evolve and refine its craft, means satisfaction is always fleeting. The feeling is not of panic, but of a constant gentle pressure to develop, to ensure the trajectory points upward. The broader picture is positive, but the focus is microscopically fixed on the next step of growth. This external noise, this binary switch between disaster and destiny flipped with every result, is a phenomenon of the age. A draw or a loss triggers an avalanche of crisis rhetoric, while a victory suddenly makes the team appear invincible. Candidates to sweep all before, fam. It's a rhythm felt across sports, from European basketball to elite football, where everything is accelerated, judged instantly, and rarely afforded the patience that genuine development requires. There is no time for training, no space for reflection. Immediate freeze! It's a turbulent environment, but it's the landscape of the job. Adapting to that, maintaining inner calm amidst the external storm, is not just a skill, but a duty for the modern manager. Central to any discussion of Manchester City's engine room is the void left by Rodri. Whoa. His absence is not merely about missing a talented midfielder, it's about losing a gravitational force. The caution around his return from a muscular injury is born from painful experience and a long-term vision. After previous setbacks, the approach is deliberately conservative. The objective is not just to get him back on the grass, but to ensure he stays there, to avoid the crushing cycle of return and re-injury. The process is progressing well, but it is a step-by-step journey where safety must precede speed. The desperation to have him back is palpable, but it is a tempered desperation, disciplined by the memory of what his prolonged absence truly costs. And that cost is almost immeasurable. To play without a player of such caliber is a profound challenge. Consider a previous season where a key figure was absent for a significant stretch. The team felt that loss deeply. Rodri's influence transcends statistics and touches the metaphysical. He elevates the collective simply by his presence. In a recent match, his late introduction changed the game's aura. He didn't need to dominate the ball or make a flurry of tackles. His mere positioning, his understanding of space, and the assurance he radiates make the other 10 players on the pitch feel safer, more composed, and more effective. He is the ultimate enhancer, a player whose value is measured in the confidence he instills in those around him. There are players who are excellent, and then there are players who make everyone else excellent. Rodri belongs to the latter, truly unique category, Tay. This necessity for caution, however, clashes fiercely with the desire to have this pivotal figure back in the fold. The player himself is struggling mentally. How could he not be? Imagine being defined by your profession and then being forcibly separated from it for months. The frustration, the sadness, the longing to contribute, these are not signs of weakness, but of a competitive spirit. A manager would be concerned if a player wasn't affected. The dialogue, therefore, is one of partnership and protection. The final steps of recovery are the most delicate. The temptation is to rush, to take one bold step forward, but the consequence of a misstep could be 1,000 steps backward. The season, with all its potential for glorious moments, still stretches out ahead. The goal is to have him back, not just for a fleeting moment, but for the climax of this campaign, and for the many seasons to follow. Yeah, that is the paramount objective. When analysing areas for improvement, the instinctive gaze often falls upon the defensive line, especially for a team whose title-winning seasons have been built upon defensive solidarity. However, the issue is frequently misdiagnosed. It is not solely about the back four. Individual mistakes will occur, but the first line of defence is often the most effective. The problems emerge when the collective aggression from the front is diminished. If the pressure is not applied high up the pitch, if the team allows the opponent to play too comfortably, then the ball inevitably arrives at the edge of the box more often. The philosophy is clear. The team is safer and actually less vulnerable when the ball is far from its own goal. This requires a relentless collective commitment, a concept that may need reinforcement, particularly for newer players, or during periods where sustaining extreme intensity for the full duration of a match becomes a physical challenge. The solution is systemic, not singular. Singular. Oh, this connects to a broader principle. Efficiency of movement is born from quality of action. The idea that better passing leads to less running is correct but incomplete. It extends to better dribbling, better decision-making, and better spatial awareness. When the team executes its fundamentals with precision, it conserves energy and controls the game's tempo. The spirit and the effort have never been in question. The sustained success over years is irrefutable proof of that. However, the squad has been constructed with a specific dominant style of play in mind. When the team deviates from those principles, even while winning, it can feel more vulnerable. This pursuit of perfecting their own game is insatiable. There is an understanding that the standards are astronomically high, a reality forged by the unique era of success the club has built. This legacy is a privilege, but it also means that being second best, even temporarily, is framed as a crisis. This perception must be managed with perspective. The opposition in modern football is formidable. Every weekend presents a challenge against well-coached, talented sides. Losses can and will happen. The key is in the analysis of the defeat. If the opponent is simply better on the day, you shake hands, acknowledge their quality, and focus on internal improvement. The corrosive feeling comes from self-inflicted wounds, from performances where the team fails to reach its own standards. In moments, it can control. The drive is to eliminate those errors, to grow from them, and to ensure that if you concede 4 goals, you score 5. It is a mentality of constant escalation, of always seeking to be better in every facet, both on and pitch and off it. Step by step, that is the only way. Finally, shifting the lens to the international stage, the conversation turns to potential. Observing the England national team, the raw materials for World Cup success are abundantly present. The quality of the manager is significant, and the depth of player talent is so rich that exceptional individuals will inevitably be left out of the squad. They have been agonizingly close in recent tournaments, reaching semi-finals and finals. Final hurdle is often the most psychological. International tournament football is a unique and brutal format. The margin for error is virtually non-existent. A single poor half, one unfortunate afternoon, and the journey is over. It is a competition that demands perfection across a condensed period. Beyond tactics and talent, the decisive factor in these short, intense campaigns is often the intangible. The ability to forge a singular, unified team spirit from a group of players who are rivals for 50 weeks of the year. They must transition from representing Manchester City, Arsenal, or Manchester United to embodying England. The magic happens when they can create a unique bubble, a shared belief, and a collective experience that feels special and separate from their club loyalties. That unity, that sense of a shared destiny, can be the final ingredient that transforms a squad of stars into champions. It is about creating something greater than the sum of its brilliant parts. A challenge as profound as any tactical puzzle. Any tactical puzzle.